Hey guys, Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the C&L slotted and drilled rotors and pad kit available for all 99-04 GT and V6 Mustangs. Now you guys should be checking out this kit from C&L if you're looking for a super affordable front and rear brake upgrade for that SN95 that will also look good behind your favorite set of wheels. So in talking features here, guys, I would say the biggest is the fact that this is a low buck option for the SN95 owners. Again, looking for that subtle upgrade over a factory replacement part, and that is going to be available for both the front and rear, essentially making this as turnkey as it gets. Now, this is going to improve, obviously, your stopping power here, guys, thanks to the aggressive pad, along with the rotor design, but it's also going to help improve your appearance at the same time as well. Now, you are, again, getting the slotted and drilled design for both front and rear rotors. That's in place to help keep that rotor surface clean, but also to help keep that surface temp down to help prevent any possible brake fade. Now, as an added bonus, again, we've said it once, I'll say it again, they do offer that nice kind of race car inspired look behind your favorite set of stock or aftermarket wheels. But let's dive a little bit deeper with the construction. Let's start off with the C&L rotors, guys. They are going to feature that G3000 grade cast iron blank, and then from there they do receive that slotted and drilled treatment using precision machine rounded slots and also beveled holes. And then the entire rotor, as you can see, is finished off with that silver zinc coating or plating. That's just there to help prevent any rust or corrosion on your non-friction related surfaces. Now, this kit does also include brand new pads for both the front and rear. That pad is going to incorporate both a ceramic and metallic material kind of baked in, a little bit more aggressive than a stock pad, but at the same time, it's not nearly as aggressive as some other carbon fiber infused pads. So therefore, I would expect a little bit more lower dust and noise with the C&L pad, but also something that's still going to offer some pretty nice grip. Now, your price point for the front and rear kit here with the pads is going to land in that mid $200 range, again, making this one of the most affordable setups of its kind currently here on the site when we're talking front and rear options that are a bit of an upgrade. Now, you can certainly go with an OE style replacement, certainly going to save yourself a few bucks by doing so, but you're not going to be getting the aggressive pad along with that slotted and drilled design here with the rotor. So totally up to you at the end of the day, of course, and regardless, no matter what option you choose, these are certainly going to be a fraction of the cost of some of those other big brake options from companies like Brembo, Bear, or Willwood. But now we do want to shift gears and get into the installation, and site's going to call this one a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, about 3 hours or so to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of what to expect when you're in the garage or driveway, let's head out to the shop, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this project are a 13, a 15, a 12mm wrench, a caliper hanging device, 2 piston compressors, some brake cleaner, a clean cloth, and the supplied brake lube. Hi everyone, today we're installing a set of pads and rotors on our Mustang, so let's get started with the uninstall of the original pads and rotors first. Now, once you've got your vehicle properly supported either on a lift such as what we've got or a set of jack stands, and you've removed your front wheel and tire, now we can go ahead and remove the caliper. To do that, we're going to need a 12mm wrench or a 12mm socket, and we're going to remove this top bolt here and the bottom bolt here and lift our caliper out of the way. And once you've got the bolts removed, just lift the caliper up and away. And then you want to use some sort of a hanging device on the caliper to keep the stress off of the brake hose. So we're just going to go ahead and hang that right there just to get it out of the way. Now, once we've got that out of the way, we can go ahead and remove our pads. Next thing we're going to do is remove our caliper mounting bracket. To remove our caliper mounting bracket, we're going to be using a 15mm wrench and remove the bolts here and here, and then we can lift our caliper mounting bracket away. Now with the caliper mounting bracket out of the way, we just grab a hold of our rotor and pull it straight out. Now that we're ready to install our new components, first thing you need to do is make sure which rotor that you have, because they are side specific. And because of the fact that they are drilled and slotted, we need to know that we're putting the right one on the right side. So to do that, what you can do is look at the slots and the holes and make sure that they start from the center and go towards the rear of the vehicle. If you've got that done, you know you've got the right size. The other thing that you can do is look at the top of the rotor here, and it's got the manufacturer's initials and the part number here, and it's got an L or an R stamped on the end of the part number. That will tell you left or right side. Left is drivers, R is passengers. So once we've determined we've got the correct rotor, what I like to do is just place it backwards on the rotor itself so that we can clean it with some brake cleaner and make sure that we've removed any manufacturing residue that may be left on there from the process. So we'll just use some brake cleaner, spray it down, wipe it with a clean cloth, flip it over, and do the other side. Now, once our rotor is clean, then we can move on to our mounting bracket. Now, next thing we're going to do is replace these retaining clips in the caliper mounting bracket with the new ones that are supplied in the kit. And to do that, we're just going to lift up on these clips and remove them from the caliper mounting bracket. And then to install the new ones, it's just a matter of sliding them into place, and they should be tension fit to stay in there. All right, now we can go ahead and slide our mounting bracket over our rotor and attach it using the original hardware. Now we can tighten those bolts down using our 15mm wrench. Now we can go ahead and install our new pads. Before you do that, the kit does come with some lubricant, and what you want to do is put just a little bit on the ends where it's going to be sliding into the retaining clips, and also put some on the back side where the caliper mounting side of the mounting bracket will hit, as well as where the piston will sit on the back side of the inside pad. Now, we're not going to keep these on our vehicle, so we're not going to put the lubricant on it, but you get the idea, just on the ends and a little bit on the back. And it doesn't take a whole lot to do this. Now, once you've got them lubed up, go ahead and slide your pads into the clips and slide them up against the rotor. Next thing we're going to do is remove this retaining clip in the top of the caliper here. To do that, just grab one end of it, pull it towards the center, and then push it through the bottom of the caliper, and it'll pop right out. Now, because our rotor and our new pads are going to be thicker than what we took off of there, we're going to need to compress the two pistons inside the front caliper so that they're fully seated and will fit over top of the new pads. So to do that, we're going to use this tool that we can rent from pretty much any auto parts store and slide it in with the silver part here against the two pistons, and then the black hook will grab the outside of the caliper. So once you get that into place, all you have to do is squeeze the handle and push the pistons back into the caliper. Now, once you've got the pistons fully seated, go ahead and push the black release tab on the back of the tool. It releases the tension, and as you can see now, the pistons are inserted into the caliper. Now we can go ahead and replace the retaining clip that we just took out with the new one supplied in the kit. To do that, we're just going to push it in from the bottom side here. Until it snaps into place. Now, once you've got the spring clip seated inside the top of the caliper, go ahead and slide your caliper back over your pads. And we'll go ahead and secure it with the original hardware. And now we'll go ahead and tighten them down using our 12mm wrench. And now that you've got one side done, you can go ahead and repeat that whole process for the other side. Now, to uninstall the rear is very similar to uninstalling the front. We're going to be using our 13mm wrench to remove the two bolts, one at the top and one at the bottom of the caliper, and swing that out of the way so that we can remove our pads and then remove the caliper mounting bracket. Now, before you go to take this off, you do want to make sure that your parking brake is not set to be on. So we'll go ahead and use our 13mm wrench. And once you've got both bolts removed, simply lift up on the caliper and get it out of the way. Now we can go ahead and grab our pads and simply slide them out of the mounting bracket. Now we'll use our 15mm wrench to remove the two bolts on the back of the mounting bracket and get it out of the way. Now with our caliper mounting bracket removed, we just grab a hold of our rotor and slide it off. Now again, making sure that our slots are pointing in the right direction as well as our holes, we can go ahead and put this back on backwards and use our brake cleaner to clean out the rotor itself. Now with our rotor back in place, we can go ahead and reinstall our caliper mounting bracket using the original hardware. Now we'll go ahead and tighten them down with our 15mm wrench. Now we can go ahead and install our new retaining clips onto the pads, like so. Making sure that the longer side is pointing towards the back of the pad itself. And once you've got the retaining clips in, go ahead and slide it back inside the mounting bracket. Now you can do the same thing for the other pad. Slide it into position. Make sure it's pressed up against the rotor. And now we can go ahead and install our caliper. Now we'll have to also do the same thing for the rear that we did for the front and compress that piston into the caliper. To do that, on this one, we're going to need a different tool. Again, you can rent this at most auto parts stores. Generally, they won't cost you anything. So we're going to slide the back brace over the shaft, and then we're going to use this disc, attach it to the end of the tool itself. Then we can slide both of them in between the piston and the outside of the caliper, making sure that the two studs on the disc are located in the slots inside the piston. Once that's done, then you can just start turning the handle and compress that piston. And once you've got the piston completely seated, just go ahead and back off on the tool and go ahead and slide it out. Now at this point, we're also going to put the spring clip in the top of the caliper. So we're going to put the long end towards the inside, and it goes over the top of the back of the caliper, and then press the other end in till it locks into place. Once that's done, we can go ahead and reinstall our caliper over our pads. Now you need to keep in mind that this caliper is now spring loaded with the springs on top of the pads. So go ahead and insert the bolt in the top first, get it started. Once you've got a couple of threads in there, now you can see that this is pushed up on it. So you'll have to push down on the top of the caliper to get it to compress and put the lower bolt in. Now with it compressed down on top of the pads, and go ahead and install the lower bolt, and we'll tighten it down with our 13mm wrench. And now you can repeat that whole process for the other side as well. And that wraps up our review and install of the C&L Super Sport brake rotor and pad kit for the front and rear of your 99 to 04 Mustang GT and V6. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.